way Tabby found their talent. You want the cold blue?
This is another day God has given us. We praise and thank Him. Welcome, TJKshares, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you for subscribing. We thank you for sharing. We thank you for being with us after so many episodes. We bring you content with TJKshares, TJK Summons, TJK one-on-one with TJK, and we bring you people who are transformational and who are changing this world that you can learn so many things from. Today's topic is about running, marathons, running, 5Ks, running, walking, exercising your body. So many different aspects and the importance of running and exercising. When we started in earlier episodes, we talked about taking care of your body. At the time of recording, I had already run 3 different marathons in New York, 2 of them live events in New York, and 1 of them virtual marathon in 2020. We all know the importance of eating health and exercising our bodies. But today I want to take it beyond just exercising our bodies, but also running to raise money for the causes you love. As a young child growing up in Nyaka village, my big sister Faida and big sister Christine and big sister Mbabazi, bless her heart, she has passed away, would wake up early in the morning and get ready their uniforms, green and white, and walk to school every single morning. At 4.5 years of age, I was too young to start school, so my father and my mother, Eric Kaguri and Janet Kaguri, decided they are going to keep me at home until I was 5 years old. And I decided at 4.5, I was going to go to school no matter the circumstances. So I devised the means and started sneaking out of the house every single day to go to school. Sitwe goes to school is about that run, skipping from home and going to school because I wanted so bad to go to school. But going to school meant I had to walk at least 7.5 miles to get to the nearest school. And those of you who have read my stories also know I attended many primary schools before I finished P7 because we were so poor. But today I want to focus on how I have used those skills of walking every day to school back and forth and capitalized on that experience to run 3 marathons, and I just completed half a marathon in New York. And the endurance of doing this goes back to when I was a child. So in 2017, December, I was in New York City meeting with donors. Mark Mahoney, Noel Mahoney, and Mama Sherry Henry came to that event. Camila, my cousin in New York, was there. They had invited several people, Leila and Donovan, who were also there. We started talking about Nyaka's fundraising strategies and how we go about it. And Mama Sherry Henry says to me, Jackson, have you ever considered getting New York Marathon to be a charity partner, for Nyaka to be a charity partner? And I said to her, we tried before, and we didn't get in. Mama Sherry Henry went and spoke to George Hash, the chairman for New York Road Runners, New York Marathon events. It was already past the deadline, but George Hash promised Sherry Henry that they will get Nyaka into Nyaka Marathon and they will give us 5 runners. Condition on these 5 runners as partners of New York Marathon was that each of them would raise money for Nyaka. The minimum at the time was $3,000 per runner. Nyaka registered these 5 runners, and we got 5 to run for Nyaka in 2018. We got Donovan, Leila, Danny, Sarah, Mark to run for Nyaka. Each of them went into their networks and raised money. This is an avenue that we didn't have. So 2018 November, our 5 runners hit the streets of New York ran the entire 26.2 miles, starting from Long Island, all 5 boroughs of New York, ending in Central Park. I still remember standing right there in Central Park with Mama Sherry, waiting for Sarah, who was the first in the bunch, to come through and finish. Sarah is the wife of Taylor. Taylor is Mama Sherry's grandson. The network of coaches, Coach Mark Mahoney and his wife, Noel Mahoney, and Sherry, the 3 people who stood and became our fantastic volunteers. We put an event together, we met our runners, and they raised tons of money for Nyaka. The condition for New York Marathon to be a partner was that all our runners must start and finish and meet the minimum. We blew it out of the park. We raised so much money and everyone finished. So ladies and gentlemen, in 2019, I went to New York. I trained. I came to Nyaka in Uganda, trained with the group on the ground. In fact, one time we ran from Nyaka, Jersey House. Smith and I met the team that had several people in Kambuga, Mirimo, and some other people who played at Kambuga Town Council Soccer. We ran from Kambuga all the way to Chihi Town as practice. When I finished those miles, I knew I could do it. I came back to New York in 2019 and ran New York Marathon and finished it, the first marathon ever, organized marathon for me to run. We, at the time I ran, had 10 runners. From 5 runners in 2018, 10 runners in 2019. Then COVID hit. But when COVID hit, New York Marathon said, we are going to register people who want to run virtually. So I organized the people in Michigan, Jerome, Norman, Edith, David, myself, and we organized teams to run with us. Professor John Kanene and Tessa Kanene ran the first 10 miles with me and David. When we finished 10 miles, we met there George, Alex. They ran with us, had signed up for 5, ran 5. And then we got into around Michigan State University and met another group and ended up running the entire 26.2 miles virtual New York Marathon. What was special about that one, ladies and gentlemen, was because it was virtual, we, Nyaka, were able to register 5 runners at Nyaka. Every 2018, we had runners running in Nyaka. We raised money for ultrasound for Kambuga Hospital. We worked with Rotary Club. So we ran side by side, including grandmothers. In 2019, when I ran, we organized again for runners to run in Nyaka also, side by side. In 2020, the virtual one, we actually were able to register 5, and they were able to get their medals. Those medals are in Michigan, so I don't have them here since I'm recording this from Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts. In 2020, New York Marathon organized to have the 50th anniversary run. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I wore this jacket, I ran that marathon in New York again and finished. And here is the 50th anniversary New York medal that I got that time. When I ran, we raised tons of money again for Nyaka. We had events for Nyaka in town, and we are able to capitalize again on people who are running for passion. We've had return runners. We've had people run from Colorado, Jeff Boyce and Amy Boyce. We've had people run from South Carolina who have moved now to Colorado. That's Angie Bird and Scott Bird. We've had people run from Iowa, Meg, DC, Marta, all over, Mark. So 50th anniversary, we ran it and accomplished that. That's when I said to myself, after 2019, 2020, which was virtual. 2021, the 50th anniversary, I said to myself, I am going to be done now running 4 marathons unless I run one outside United States. But then Matt Stubble, who is our staff member at Nyaka and a photographer who has taken all amazing pictures you've seen all over in different books, Matt took over organizing the New York Marathon in 2021. 2022, ladies and gentlemen, last year we had 22 runners in New York Marathon, each of them raising money for Nyaka, each of them committing to finish. We had one injury, but 20 runners finished and got their medals. Then Matt, working with the committee, which is basically Mark Mahoney, Noel Mahoney, and Mama Sherry Henry, we were able to register and get into the half marathon, which just took place on Sunday, March 19th.
Strong we go. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to set a good example, so I went to New York and I ran this half marathon. This was even more special because the winners of this New York half marathon was Jacob and Joshua from Uganda, 1 and 2.
The men's field on the left here, Jacob Kiplimo, the 22-year-old Ugandan. Jacob Kiplimo, your winner on the men's side, the United Airlines half marathon champion. He's a half marathon world record holder, and he sure made it look easy here today, Chris.
To be a Ugandan running after these premier runners had already completed and knowing your countrymen have won it all, woo, that was a good feeling. So the third medal, actually 2 more medals are all in Michigan. They're not here, the virtual one and the 2019, but I wanted to show you this and show that you can do something you like to do, love to do, and can also be a fundraiser for the causes you are in. To get into New York Marathon, ladies and gentlemen, you have to qualify. Because many people cannot qualify, running for a charity is another option you can do. You have people who are walking from beginning to the end. You have people in wheelchairs who are doing it for Achilles, kids for kids, cancer, people running for different organizations. So as you think of different ways you want to raise money for your organizations or charities, think of marathons, think of 5Ks. I do serve on the board of Uganda Water Project. James Harrison out of New York has been raising money through 5K runs and raising like $100,000. 5K, organizing people to run. Before COVID, it was like $50,000. During COVID, he made it virtual and people ran in their areas, Japan, Uganda. I ran for this because a board member, I ran in Uganda and raised money. So use different avenues to raise money for your causes, or to support the causes you want if you're not running an organization, or to promote your businesses. MTN has this big marathon in Uganda that brings so many people and raise money for causes. Kabaka in Uganda has a huge charity. I am right now in Boston. Boston Marathon is happening on April, is it April or, yes, April 17th, I believe. Monday, April 17th. Lots of charities organized. Chicago has a marathon. Detroit has a marathon. Berlin has a marathon. On October 8th, 2023, Nyaka is going to have Nyaka UK half a marathon. So come and support, but also learn how to diversify your fundraising, how to support the causes you love. And if you do it, maybe you end up with one of these. The sound is good. This is a big apple. In New York, they say, bite the apple. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Please do spread the word. Please do whatever you can to support the causes you love or to raise money in so many different dimensions, including running and the love for exercise. We've had children in international schools do triathlons. We've had people put on a basketball camp or 3-on-3. It doesn't matter. Whatever you like to do, try to see how you can use it to inspire others and to raise money for different causes. Thank you for listening. Do share, hit subscribe. I hope you have enjoyed the scenes from New York, the pictures from New York, and the many, many amazing volunteers that have done that. To all Nyaka staff who organized all this, thank you. All the trainers and tips you've given over the years, thank you. All runners who have run in Nyaka, those who have run in New York, those who will run in London, those who ran in Detroit, those who are going to run in Berlin, we thank you, and we are looking for that one who's going to run in Boston and support our cause. I appreciate you. I know the best is yet to come. Continue to be amazing. Thank you for tuning in.